Well, I'll start with the favourite moments because my favourite, as a series producer, I didn't necessarily go on location as much as someone like Sophie did. But my favourite moment was when I first saw the footage coming back of this little bird of paradise that did this crazy dance. And for us in the wildlife business, this bird has never been filmed. And we knew about it, and we knew it did a crazy dance, but we couldn't believe it was that inspiring. And it was very, very exciting. Now, Sophie had probably, I think, different sort of experiences.
I'd say the highlights first. Blinky, we had a polar bear called Blinky who was just a bit of a doofus, and in the Frozen World episode, he would just run around like with the joys of spring, stick his head down holes and his bum in the air, and so just watching a male polar bear being an idiot was probably a highlight. But the hardest thing for me, I don't know who's familiar with the walrus sequence at the end of that show, but it was really harrowing filming that. It was a story we didn't expect, and still, there's not a day go by I don't think about the walrus and that cliff sequence. And so I just hope that through this series we raise awareness for climate change and what we're doing to the planet, and that's not in vain.
I think the crucial thing with Netflix was we said right from the word go, and we're going to make a wildlife series that's not like one before, because we wanted the series to change things. And if you're going to change things, you have to show the dark side of what's happening to the natural world as well as the bright side. And they were always up for that, right from the word go. And they said we're light touch editorially, and they remained true to that. They really did. And I don't think I've ever worked on a series where we've actually had so much freedom to deliver what we had in our minds at the start. So they were very, very trusting and very helpful. Gave us good advice, but it was a really, really successful editorial journey, I think.
And also the global platform that Netflix gives us. Instantaneously, our planet went out across the world, across the globe, and I think that just threw it into a different kind of arena for a documentary format, and that was exciting for us as filmmakers to be a part of that kind of wave.
I think the other interesting thing with Netflix, with wildlife, generally it's an older demographic for wildlife films, certainly in the UK. With Netflix, it's a really young demographic, and these are the people who really are looking for change, and so we've had a big response from young people from the series, which is unusual. Having David as narrator was just a huge privilege. I've known David since I was, I think, 23. Worked with him on many series. And right at the start, we said we wanted to do this series. We said we wanted to tell a different story. He said, count me in, guys. And so we did. And at the end of it, the authority and the strength of his performance as a narrator is just overwhelming. And he just knows how to pitch a narration at every level, every sentence. He hits exactly the right emotional tone. But the audience is completely unaware of it because it's such a subtle, fantastic delivery. And he added a huge amount.